Hi. Oh, I know. Look at my hair. The kids have been telling me all about it. I got it done when I was on the cruise. I'm probably going to be taking it out soon, though, because these beads really hurt. Today in class, we worked on dividing a fraction, dividing a whole number by a fraction. Tomorrow we'll be doing the other one, fraction divided by a whole number. So they got a homework sheet that looked like this, dividing a whole number by a fraction, and it goes into a description, parents asking you not to teach them the trick, because they're actually going to develop the trick themselves. And if you know about anything that you've done in your life, if you discover it yourself, you're more likely to remember how to do it and what it stands for than if someone were just to tell you, do this. So when we were told to do this, and we had to memorize it and do it over and over and over again. That's why we had to do 50 problems for homework, because we had to practice what they told us to do over and over again. So I'm trying to get them to develop the trick themselves, and it will be the same trick that we were just told to do this, but they will understand the mathematics behind the trick and why the trick works. And so right now they've only seen half the trick. What I mean by that is today we only did whole numbers divided by fractions. So they're only seeing a piece of it, and a lot of them are already seeing something that's happening between the whole number and the denominator of the fraction. But I'm not letting them talk about it. I'm like, think about it yourself, but we're not going to share yet. And I don't want them, if they happen to know the trick, they've been taught the trick somewhere else, I don't want them to talk about it. I want them to see the math first, and then they'll understand the trick. Plus, I don't want them to ruin someone else discovering the trick for themselves. So we use number lines, which might be new to you, because, again, you're just used to someone telling you, do this because it works, and you don't actually understand how you got the answer mathematically. So the mathematics is not the trick. That has nothing to do with mathematics. That has to do with the fact that just kind of like what do they call it, traditional multiplication. People don't understand the math that's going on. They were just told to do something, and they do it over and repeat the steps over and over again, but they don't really understand the math that's going on. So that's kind of like what's happening here. I'm showing them the math that's taking place when they are dividing a whole number by a fraction, and why you get the answer you get. So that'd be new to you. And again, by doing this, they will actually develop that trick and have a better understanding of the math behind the trick and why dividing 4 divided by a half works. So that's actually what I start with as an example. We actually did it in class. So what they're seeing is something that we did in their notes, if they took notes like they're supposed to. And then the second one is also something that we did in class as well. And that is where a lot of them started being like, I see what's happening. So then when you turn over the page, that tells you to do these problems, and it says that they have to show a number line in their divisions. And then I made a mistake. I was making this during lunch, and I must have been talking to one of the teachers, because my number line has 0, 4, 2, 3, 4. Obviously, that should be 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. So, make sure your kids make that correction so that it's 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. And I will choose another problem to do. So let's do 6 divided by a third. So that some people were walking out of my class, and I told them they need to watch the video because they were going to dance class or something. So 6 divided by a third. What my paper says on the homework, if you read it, and what I told the kids to take notes in their class, is that on a number line, what we're plotting is the dividend. That means that's this first number. The first number that comes out of your mouth in a division sentence, this is a division sentence, is the dividend. So when we're plotting the number line, it is the dividend that we're plotting, not the largest number. No. Because tomorrow, it's not going to be the largest number. It's going to be the first number in the division sentence. So it's really important they understand that we are plotting the 6 because it is the first number in the division sentence. So plotting 6 means I make a number line from 0 to 6. So there's my number line, 0 to 6. And then I'm going to go ahead and make the benchmarks, because in between 0 and 6, there's the numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 3 should be in the middle, and again, these do not have to be perfect because we are humans and we are not perfect. So you can even see these aren't the perfect size, but 3 should be somewhere in the middle. because it is on the number line. And then I tell them, look at this number. So when we're doing a whole number divided by a fraction, this tells me what to break each whole number up into. So I'm going to not break it into halves or quarters, but like on the examples, I'm going to break it in thirds because the divisor in this problem, the second number or the divisor in this problem is 1/3. And then we talked about in class that if I want thirds, then I actually only need to make 2 cuts because you always make one less cut than what you want. And you can see there's 1/3, 2/3, 3/3. So then I'm going to go through all of these and make my thirds in between each whole number. See, there it is. And I'm going to make my whole number for 5 a little bit bigger. And if you notice, and it's true about a number line, usually your whole numbers, their lines are a little bit longer, see? And then the next step, the last step, is just to count by thirds. So like when we count from 1 to 10, we go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. When we count by thirds, we go 1/3, 2/3, 3/3, 4/3, 5/3, 6/3, 7/3, 8/3, 9/3, 10/3, etc. So it's still the same thing, but we just have the third as our denominator. So 1/3, 2/3, and then I usually put the whole above the whole number, so that's why you see me jotted up there, because there's already a whole number there, 1, which is 3/3, 4/3, 5/3, 6/3, right? So you get the picture? So then, normally when I have a larger number, I get lazy and I just jump. I'm like, okay, I got 3/3, then I got 6/3. This is going to be 9/3. Why? Because I'm counting by threes. 3, 6. That's obviously going to be 9. And if you follow the pattern, it actually did work. See? 7/3, 8/3, then 9/3. This would be 10/3, 11/3, which makes this 12/3, which is true because 12 divided by 3, that vincula means to divide. 12 divided by 3 is 4, right? So you see the pattern there. 3/3, 6/3, 9/3, 12/3, which means this 5 is going to be 15/3 and 6 is going to be 18/3, right? So, in essence, this question, 6 divided by 1/3, is kind of like asking how many third marks, how many thirds are there in 6 whole? And we just counted the third marks all the way across, and we got to 18/3, all the way across down here to 18/3, which my 18's a little, I'll make it big. 18/3. Is that big enough? 18/3. So I have 18 1/3 marks, right? So that's the answer to my question. 6 divided by 1/3 is 18, right? And so again, some kids are seeing a relationship between this number, this, and the answer. But again, we're only seeing half the picture. Tomorrow we'll work on doing a third divided by 6, a half divided by 4. All right, but we're not doing that tonight. We are just doing a whole number divided by a fraction. And if you notice, it's a unit fraction. Unit fraction means that 1 is the numerator. So if you notice that all my examples have had 1 as the numerator. And I'll keep doing that because I want them to see the trick. And then once they learn the trick, it won't matter what the numerator is anymore. But there is an example of what we did in class. I hope you have a good night.